How to replace the fuel filter in a Craftsman lawnmower. Most Craftsman riding mowers and some push mowers have a fuel filter between the fuel tank and carburetor. When the fuel filter clogs, it causes a reduction in fuel flow to the carburetor, resulting in poor performance and hard starting. It is necessary to clamp one of the fuel lines to prevent fuel flow when you replace the fuel filter in a Craftsman lawnmower. Replacement fuel filters and fuel line clamps for your Craftsman lawnmower are available at Sears and home improvement centers. Things you will need: fuel line clamp tool, vice grips, rags, Phillips head screwdriver. Allow the engine to cool for 30 minutes before replacing the fuel filter. Raise the hood on the mower to facilitate cooling. Find the fuel filter on your Craftsman mower engine. The fuel filter is usually along the front side or front of the engine. The fuel filter resembles a small rectangular piece and has a fuel line connecting to each end. Clamp the fuel line going from the fuel filter to the fuel tank with the fuel line clamp tool. If you do not own a fuel line clamp tool, place a rag over the line and lock the jaws of a pair of vice grips over the line. This prevents the fuel from leaking out of the fuel tank when you disconnect the line from the fuel filter. Place a rag under the area where the fuel filter sits to prevent fuel from leaking onto the engine. Loosen the clamp screws securing each fuel line to the fuel filter with a Phillips head screwdriver. Once the clamps are loose, pull the fuel lines away from the fuel filter. Find the arrow on the new fuel filter. The arrow should point toward the fuel line going to the carburetor. Push the fuel lines over the stems on each end of the new fuel filter until the lines are against the fuel filter body. Tighten the clamp screws to secure the fuel lines to the filter. Remove the fuel line clamp tool or the vice grips from the fuel line. Wipe up any spilled gasoline with the rag under the fuel filter. Tips: warnings. Dispose of fuel-soaked rags properly.